This is the Bottom Shot Podcast.
Pulvereri is up high. They come out of turn number 4. Stutter between the turns. The fans come to their feet.
It is Ted Christopher still in command. Keith Rocco right there on his back bumper.
Bringing Stafford Motor Speedway's past and present together.
They are side by side running for the finish line. It's a photo finish.
Deep into turn number 3. He goes in deeper than most. Christopher is in trouble. It is Keith Rocco to slingshot to the bottom, and he'll take down the win.
A Stafford Motor Speedway production where we will hear from the personalities from the past and present that found success on the legendary half-mile oval.
The scoreboard shows goose eggs as they wait. It's Pulvereri. He wins it by inches over Richie Evans in the Spring Sizzler.
Unbelievable chain of events.
Now, here are your hosts, Paula Root and Kyle Rickey.
It was another incredible year for the limited late models at the Stafford Motor Speedway, a season that saw 3 drivers in contention right to the final corner of the final race, and winning it all, his second limited late model championship, Andrew Durand. We are here at Joe Ham's Race Shop in Munson, Massachusetts, where your car was built and is often maintained. And first off, congratulations on another stellar year in the limited late models at Stafford Motor Speedway.
Thank you for having us, and I don't know, we had a good year at the races, and we had Joe helping me on setting up the car this year, and we had a fantastic year, and we just kept on digging down and getting faster and faster, and we ended up doing good at the end of the year. We were only going there to race at the beginning, and then we ended up doing good, and so we went for the championship.
That's great. Yeah, you had an amazing season, absolutely dominated with 8 victories, 7 in points events. But to talk to our listeners, kind of who is Andrew Durand? How did you get started in the sport? Kind of talk us through how you even got interested as a kid in racing.
When I was younger, my dad and my dad's friend, they both raced at Riverside. And then I raced go-karts since when I was 10 years old, and then I was 13 and I raced at Riverside. And then,
13 years old.
Yeah.
In what kind of car?
Well, it was a strictly stock. It was a non-points race on a Sunday, and my dad had a strictly stock, and my dad's friend had another strictly stock but a better car. So they said they would only let that car race if they put a rookie in it.
So they put a 13-year-old in.
Yeah.
So you got in the car for the first time. Kind of, what were you feeling? Were you like, "This is scary. This is crazy"? Or were you like, "I'm hooked"?
I didn't do no practice, no nothing. They just sent me out in the race, and I probably did 5 laps, and then I spun out, took out someone, and so that was my
Were
start.
you immediately this is awesome? Or you're like, "I don't want to do that again"?
No, it was fun. It was just they had too much rear brake in it. I hit the brakes and I came right around, and I didn't have no experience. I barely even drove a car at that time.
Yeah, you're 13.
I say barely drove a car. Then you go to Stafford. You're coming up, hard to believe, on the 20th anniversary of your first trip to Stafford in a street stock, what was a dare stock in 2001. What brought you to Stafford Motor Speedway for the first time?
Riverside closed, and then my dad went racing over there, and he raced there for, 4 or 5 years, and then everybody was trying to have me go in the car and get him out of the car, and then I went in there when I was 15 years old and raced and started. I did a couple races at the end of the year, and then the following year I drove for someone else, my dad, for this 07 car for All American Auto. I'm not sure exactly. And then my dad, we put his car together, and then we raced, and we did good because he already had experience there, and the car was set up, so they put me in a decent car right from the beginning, and I had good luck right from the beginning. So
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, you took to Stafford pretty quickly. You kind of adapted to that. It's a challenging track that a lot of drivers don't ever even get. So kind of what about the track did you take so quickly to? Was it just a natural feel?
Yeah,
a little bit bigger than the park, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I guess the go-kart track, I raced at Pinnacle in Chicopee, and it's got 2 different turns in it, and that's sort of like how Stafford is.
There you go.
And you got a sharp turn, and then you got a big sweeping turn. So
it's almost
maybe
identical to Stafford, the tight corner, and then the more normal corner down in 3 and 4.
Yeah, so maybe that's where it helped me out when I was younger, and then I never thought about it, but yeah, I got into a car that my dad was already doing good with, so it is a lot better and easier to drive a fast car than a car that's slower.
Ain't that for sure, right?
How difficult is it? You touched on it a moment ago, the uniqueness of the Stafford Motor Speedway, 2 different ends. How difficult is it to find the balance there? First at a street stock level, and then at a limited.
That you gotta figure out at least one turn. You gotta get one turn down as fast as you can, and then you leave the other turn. It is what it is at that point. That's if you can dial one turn down, then I was always good at 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 is a sharper turn that you just have to have an okay car and be able to. And then I like sending it into turn 3, so.
The good old-fashioned bottom shot, which is the name of our podcast. I know some drivers love it, some drivers don't, but if you got the bottom shot down, you're going to be in business.
It's fun sending it in there. You can just, I don't know.
You spent 4 seasons, do the math, 4 seasons in the street stocks. You move up to the limited late models when the limited late models are brand new to the Stafford Motor Speedway in 2005. Talk about that transition and why the move up at that time.
Well, we wanted to move up to a higher class, and then I didn't have the money to do a late model, and then this class came about, and so we sold the dare stock and we built a limited, and then it took a little longer, so we missed the first 2 races, so then the points wasn't so good for us that year. I think we had like 7 wins that year too. So I don't know, it's similar in cars, the street stocks as the limited. So we did good there, and then so we did decent in the limiteds. It was some getting used to with more power and a 1-legger, but we always, I don't know, we ended up doing decent. We figured it out, and I don't know, I go as fast as I can out there.
I would say you just touched on a good point or a good comment that I think it'd be good to explain to our listeners what the difference is in the rear and kind of how the tires spin compared to a limited down to a street stock. You mentioned it's a 1-legger.
Yeah.
Kind of, if you could explain that to our listeners, kind of dumb it down the best way possible, because half the time I don't even understand it. So.
I'm with you.
Well, the rear end's locked nowadays, but before it was just one tire spinning. So when you got on the gas, the right tire would always want to spin. So
in the street stocks or dare stocks, yeah.
Street stock and the limiteds when we first came out with that class.
Okay.
So that's, I don't know, I used to smoke my tire coming off the turn, and then we had less horsepower in our car than other people, and actually helped us out because we were able to come off the turn, because that one tire, you could only put all the horsepower to that one tire versus, so less power actually made us go faster, we learned back then.
And now the cars have a locked rear, but the street stocks, I believe, are still just the one,
Yes.
So it still can be a challenging jump up, but it's
the transition, because I don't know, I used to run a different car, and then locked versus it's totally different a setup, because then you got to have the stagger different, and you feel it. It's totally different with a locked versus a open rear end.
2020, actually, your second championship in this division, your first coming 4 years into your limited late model career back in 2009. What do you remember about that year and that championship?
Like, I don't know, we were struggling every year. We were close, but not there. It just, you need to be consistent throughout the whole year. You could be the fastest car week, but if you don't finish the races and get everything to where you need to go to finish the season to get a championship. It's a lot harder than everybody thinks, and we struggled for years, and then we were finally able to. We went with the crate motor, and we had good luck with the crate motor. That's when I won the other championship, and so I don't know. Our car was set up before, and then we had this different motor, and then I think we had the 4-barrel on it at the beginning, but then our car was too fast, so they slowed me down. And then, I don't know, we raced through the season, and we were mostly consistent. We did good, so.
So let's jump ahead to 2020. You took some time off here. It's probably, 5 or 6 seasons. What got you back going at the end of 2019? The car came back on track, I believe, with 3 or 4 events to go in the season. You had a bunch of bad luck out of the gate, but what kind of brought you back on track?
My buddy passed away, and I used to work on a car with him, and I wanted to do something to celebrate him, I guess, and so I got the car out here for Neil Provost, and
awesome.
I got to thank everybody for helping us out to get the thing out here.
How has the division changed? You've been here since the inception in 2005. You won a championship in 2009. You won a championship in 2020. Has much changed with these race cars in the last 15 years?
No, they have changed a little bit. Like, little things changed throughout the years, but they're about the same. They are faster now than they were at the beginning. So obviously, there must be better parts than we had at the beginning. The car's a little wider now. They got the locked rear end now, and then the crate motor. So I don't know. It's
whatever it is, he's got it figured out.
He does.
7 victories. So a great season. Kind of talk us through kind of some of the competitors. You know, you have some really good drivers that have been in the class for a while, like Alex Fern or Jeremy Lavoie, who was a 2-time champion. What's it like on track? I know it seems always to be pretty clean out there of all the classes at Stafford.
Yeah, I never actually raced with most of the guys out there. This was my first time racing with most of them. I think basically everybody out there, and everybody was clean and good. I don't have no complaints about anybody. I don't know if they can say that about me because I don't know. I'm aggressive, and you got to get up because it's got a short field. You got to get up there quick and get it done as quick as you can in that style of racing.
Top 3 finishes all season until September, and then you had a couple of 9th place finishes. Did those finishes worry you at all as far as, trying to get this second championship and watching Jeremy chip away at your lead and Alexandra chip away at your lead during those weeks that I believe you fell out? They finished on the podium.
Yeah, I got 2 DNFs those races. One, I hit the wall trying to avoid a wreck, and then another one was the caution came out and I got rear-ended. But I was really concerned. But I guess I was thinking more at the beginning of the year. I wasn't really coming out here to win a championship, so I just had to let the cards fall where it's got to go, and we were lucky to be able to tie and have more wins, and that's how close it was. So anybody could have had it.
It's fun to watch out there. A lot of great battles on track. But now, you're a 2-time champion. What's next?
That we started building a late model, and we're gonna go late model racing and bring a show on in late models.
It's a whole new ball game, I'll tell you that much. It's a lot of fun, though. It is a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, I did drive a late model a couple
seasons, right? Yeah.
A couple races.
Okay.
So I got some experience, not very much, but we're going to give it a run. I got good people behind me that are going to back me up, so we're going to take a good run at this and go our hardest we can.
Paul just alluded to a little bit how different the late model drives from a limited late model. From your experience, how different are they?
There's more motor, and there's more suspension that you can tune on to make your car better. So there's more adjustments you can probably tune on it to get it even faster, and that's what we're gonna do.
Exciting! It's a great addition to the field. It was a very entertaining 2020 for the late models. So just adding a champion into the mix is going to be awesome to watch. But talk to us about some sponsors. I know there's a lot of people that help you get this car on track. Some crew, some sponsors. Who do you have to thank?
I gotta thank my dad with Universal Plastics. He gets all parts for us that we need, machined, and plastic windshields and anything. And then Joe Ham for getting the car out here and setting it up and getting everything tuned on. And I gotta thank Billy for letting me put his car together and get it out here. I gotta thank I don't know, Payless Auto Glass for giving us some money, and I got my uncle gave me some money for tires, Dan's Appliances, and it's basically everybody helping out, like that gets us out here every week. And I gotta thank everybody. I gotta thank the track for having a nice track to race at every week too.
Absolutely. I don't think we've alluded onto it enough, and we'll wrap it up with this. The championship battle going into the last race, I believe 6 points among the top 3. It ended in a tie between you and Alexandra Fern. You picked up the championship based on the tiebreaker and the wins. Talk us through those final laps. I mean, are you watching where Alexandra is? Are you watching where Jeremy is? Or are you just running your own race?
I just followed right behind her.
And she ended up winning. So
that's all I had to do for that.
So you knew it going into the race that you had this to be.
And my car really wasn't. Her car was a little faster, so I didn't want to push it and try to, because there was no use. What was I gonna?
No gain.
No gain besides wrecking our cars, and so I was happy. I was content with driving right behind her and finishing off the year with the championship.
Championship this year. It's going to be fun to watch him move up next year.
And on behalf of all of us at Stafford, big congrats on a 2020 title, and we're excited to watch you go into the late models.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Congratulations on championship number 2 as you make the move up in 2021.
Thank you very much.